2, 3, 4. Hey guys, Michael here from GuitarGate.com, and welcome to this Learn the Song series where we break down famous iconic songs which you should have in your set list if you're a working band. Now this Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder off Songs in the Key of Life. Amazing song, and a jazzier song than we typically do on here, but we had to learn this for an upcoming wedding, and I figured, why not? Let's do it. So this song is basically in the key of E major, but it's got a lot of, functioning secondary dominant type stuff. So it starts off with a C minor 7. Now you can do this as a C minor 7 like this. You can do this as a C minor 9. Now you can make it as jazzy as you want, but the point is that this is a 6th chord and it's a 7th chord at least. You can make it a 9th, 11th, so on and so forth. But at the very least, you got C minor 7 or C minor 9. Now what that's going to go to is an F sharp kind of dominant. Now typically in the key of E, your F sharp would be minor. So we're creating a secondary dominant here. So you can go to F sharp 9 like this. I kind of like the sound of this kind of F sharp 13 like this here. And again, you can experiment with it, but basically you're trying to get to a B because F sharp is the natural 5. It's the resolving 5 to B. And the B you go to isn't a regular B major like in the key of E, right? It's a B7, but there's a 4 in there. So it's like a B11 or a B sus, like a B7 sus. Now the two voicings I like for this is putting a B in the bass and then maybe an A major on top. So that'll give you a B, it'll give you an A, so it's a flat 7 here, your C sharp, which will be your 9, your B your 2, and then your E, which will be your 4. So you get that flat 7-ness, but you also get that suspension of the 4. And you can do it like this as well. This gives you a 5 with it. Those are the two I like, but basically you're looking for a B, a flat 7, right? So you're A, and then you're also looking for a 4th. So you're not playing a 3rd in here, so you want an E in there as well. And then after that, it goes to regular plain old E major, and if you want to spice it up, you could do E major 7. And again, you can try all your different voicings in different spots, but that's your basic feel of the song, right? It's the so that's your verse. Now if you have two guitars, if you kind of listen to the record, it's kind of all keyboards, right? But there's two basic things that you hear. You hear that kind of groove, and then you also hear just the chords being laid down. So if you have two guitars or one guitar and keys, it would make sense for one of you just to lay down the, right? Like lay down the chords and have the other one do more of the, more of the rhythm. Those are your obvious parts for this type of tune. Now when it goes to the chorus, it does a really cool thing. It goes to the 4 chord, which is A, but it makes it a major 7th. Now, again, you can mess with all your voicings, you know. I kind of like it here. And then, again, we're creating a secondary dominant, so and a chromatic movement here. So you have your A major 7, your bass goes down to G sharp. G sharp in the key of E is typically minor, right? But we're making this a dominant chord, and we're going to keep an E on top, right? So that's a sharp 5 if you want to look at it like that. So this is like a G sharp 7, sharp 5. And all we're trying to do is we're trying to keep that E in there. So you're coming from your A major 7, you got the E, you're going to this, you got that E, then you're going to C minor 7, it's got that E in there. Or if you did C minor 9, you're playing the E here. And then you have your F sharp 9, which you also have an E in there. Then you have your B 7 sus, which you also have an E in there if you play it like this. You also have that E, and then it resolves to, what do you know? E. And that's the basic song. The form is, it just goes verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And then obviously a couple of them are instrumentals where you hear Stevie play the harmonica, which is just killer. Before we go into that, there's one little lick you got to catch at the end. So after it goes through the form, it goes. Now all that is if you start on B, right, you have B, C sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, B, C sharp, E. So really it's an E major pentatonic lick, but it starts on this B. It starts on the 5th. And he just plays that E a couple more times at the end. So the feel of that is. Going into the chorus. Now if you notice at the end of the chorus, I kind of hang on that B longer, and then it's just a quick little stab on E. So 1, 2, 3, 4, E, lick. Now, one other thing to mention. Before it repeats, you hear a quick little stab on the keys with the bass before it goes back to the beginning of the cycle of the verse to that C minor 7. And what that is that's a G sharp. You can play that G sharp 7. You can keep the E in there, right, and make it that sharp 5. But that's what it is. So when you come around. And that's the form. Now, let's talk about the melody. In the melody, you both hear him sing it and pretty much match it on the harmonica. We're not going to go note for note with exactly what he's singing on the harmonica, or singing versus on the harmonica, but I'm going to give you the basic theme on what to focus for when you go to take this lead yourself. The basic feel, the basic sound of this melody, this starts on the major 3rd. This whole thing is in E major, the full E major scale. Everything comes from that. Now, yeah, you can jazz it up and move around, but your basic thing is just E major all day. And it starts on G sharp. It hits that A, so that's that major 3rd to the 4th to kind of give it that suspension, and then walks down to resolve to the root. So you got, right? So that's just a major 3rd, right? E, F sharp, G sharp, going up to the 4th, and then back to the 2nd, And again, because he's singing and doing the harmonica, you're going to get a lot of slurs. If you play it real stale, like, it's not going to sound right. You're going to have to use some real gentle vibrato and try sliding up to it. Ah. Now those two notes again, C sharp and B, that it just comes from the E major scale. Nothing fancy. You know, and he'll fatten it up a little bit. You go and kind of wander around in there, but it's just E major. Then when it goes to the chorus, remember we switch to the 4. It's the A major 7, and then it's to that G sharp, 7 sharp 5. But the melody doesn't leave E major, and it focuses on that A major 7th-ness, that suspension, right? And that's kind of what the chorus sounds like. So you'll hear him go up, right? And that is the A he's hanging on. He's hanging on that 4th. And you'll hear him do this a little differently with the harmonica and with the vocals, again. But then the idea is to walk back down to your root. And then you finish it with that same beginning tag. And then keep walking down. And you're going straight down the E major scale. And really E major pentatonic to get that final tag. So when you think about it, it's like 4 pieces long. You got the first one where he's saying, "Isn't she lovely?" And then, "Isn't she wonderful?" "Isn't she lovely?" again. And then I forget the lyrics for this one, but he kind of spices it up a little bit. And then here comes the chorus. And finishes with the tag where he walks down. And that is the basic song. So when you go to take leads over this, just experiment in E major. Try when you go over to the chorus to hang around that 4. Maybe go up ahead of it. Go to the 5 and 6. I actually think when he does the harmonica part, he does like, he's got like a little trill in there, and then it's like. But the point is here is that it's all in E major. Yes, the chords kind of borrow, you get some secondary dominant stuff, and you have some suspensions, but they all kind of keep an E in them. And that's the point. The song is about E, and E is the resolution point to all your melody stuff. Yes, it starts on the major 3rd, and it does a lot with that A, that suspension. When you go to the chorus, you want to really nail that A, hit that suspension, play around with that, but it always resolves back to E. And it's in the chords, and of course that's where the melody comes from. When you take these leads, try to be very gentle, try to be pretty emotional with it, do not overplay it. And this is really a great addition to your set list. And that's it. So if you like this series, please subscribe, please share, and tell your friends. It helps me out a lot. And make sure you go and check out all the good stuff we have over at guitargate.com. I'm going to hit this and kind of play around with it for a little bit, but I'll see you in the next lesson.